We are so pleased to have join us by phone Bernie Kerik, the former NYPD commissioner. Commissioner Kerik, it is so good to have you back with us here on America's Forum.
Morning, JD.
Bernie, what do you make of the mayor's reaction to the case? Is that helping or hurting the situation?
I don't know. The mayor and others are relating this incident strictly to race. The bottom line is, in my opinion, I think Eric Garner would be alive today had he not resisted arrest. I don't care what color he was. The bottom line is he resisted arrest, a lawful arrest. That resistance escalated. The use of force by the officer escalated, which resulted ultimately and tragically in his death. I don't think people understand, how all these comments about race and all this rhetoric that's out there right now, how it's hurting the relationships between the communities and the police more than it's helping. And I just wish the people that are doing it for some, political stance, I wish they'd stop. It's really hurting.
Bernie, let me just ask you first and foremost, what are your thoughts on the decision? Because a lot of people thought that this officer was going to face charges and are frankly surprised. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the first and foremost, I didn't see the evidence, all the evidence. The grand
No,
jury
but you're
saw.
watching this video right now. You saw the video like we all did.
That's right. I saw the video, and I saw a man resisting a lawful arrest.
What about the chokehold that now the officer is saying was actually a wrestling move, apparently, that he learned?
Listen, if you watch the video, the first thing the officer does is he grabs Garner from behind to pull him off balance to try to get him down to the ground. Now, you have to keep in mind, this guy weighed, I don't know, by most reports, 360 pounds. And by the looks of that officer, he weighed under 200. I would not, personally, I wouldn't want to be fighting with this guy face on as it is. He's resisting. The use of force is to put him in handcuffs.
But he didn't have a weapon.
Excuse me?
But he didn't have a weapon.
I don't care if he had a weapon or not.
He had his hands up. There were several men surrounding him.
He still has to comply with the order. He has to comply. That's the law. And the officer has the right to use force to put him in handcuffs. If you watch the video, even when he's on the ground, even when he has three officers around him, even when he has the guy on the back of him holding him, he's still resisting. He's still not complying. So what are they supposed to do at that point? They're supposed to let him go? Get up and say, hey, dude, you know what? You're just too big for us. You're too strong. We're going to let you go. You can go break the law all you want, and we'll go about our business.
There's no doubt
that's not the way it works.
Right, and there's no doubt that cops have a tough job, Bernie. The question becomes, since you're the former NYPD commissioner, what do you expect will transpire internally? An internal investigation is going on. Would you expect the force to take some disciplinary actions against the officers involved?
Well, in conjunction with the DA's investigation and the grand jury investigation, there is an internal investigation that will be conducted by the Internal Affairs Bureau. There's a review board that the officer will have to go through, a use of force review board, and they will make a determination whether the use of force was excessive, whether he violated department policy. There's a number of inquiries that cop is going to have to go through as a result of the incident. And then that board will make recommendations for charges or not. If he is charged, then there'll be a hearing. He'll go before that hearing. The hearing will conclude whatever they do, and then that will all be sent to the police commissioner for a final determination.
Bernie, obviously, in your role as police commissioner, when you had that job, you have to be concerned about protests, about protests turning violent. As we understand last night, by and large, the protests were peaceful. Do you believe they'll remain so?
You know what, JD? I hope so. I would hope so. People have a right to protest. They should be allowed to express their opinion. It's when those protests turn violent and they turn into riots that it becomes problematic. The New York City Police Department has more resources than any other municipal agency in this country to deal with these types of protests. They do it on a daily basis up by the United Nations and in other areas of the city. They're very good at what they do. They probably have more experience in dealing with protests like this than any other city agency around the country. Hopefully they will remain peaceful. It's when they stop peacefully protesting and they start committing arson and robbery and burglary and assault that things are going to get out of hand, and then people have to be held accountable.
Bernie, a minute remaining. If there's one thing above all else you would like everyone to keep in mind, what would that be?
Every time a cop gets dispatched to a job, every single time, be that job violent or otherwise, no matter if somebody's getting murdered and they're called to the scene, that cop never picks up that radio and says, what color is the victim? They go. They go and they put their lives on the line for communities in every country, in every city around this country. And in New York, the minority community has resulted in an 80% reduction in homicides over the last 20 years. They do that regardless of color. I think sometimes people forget that.
And you just reminded us all of that. Bernie Kerik, former NYPD commissioner, thank you so much for your time. America's Forum will continue here on Newsmax TV following this Newsmax Now update.